So this is video 4 in a series I've been doing on the differences between mediation and litigation. So in my last video, I talked about some of the questions that we ask in mediation and how different they are from the direct and cross-examination that you're probably used to seeing on, if nothing else, on trial TV, right? Law and Order, or whatever your favorite court show is. And it's a very distinct process in mediation, but I also didn't want to leave you with the mistaken assumption that mediation is always different, because there are some mediators who do what we call evaluative mediation. And so I'm going to go into a little bit of that distinction so that you're aware that you need to ask your mediator what kind of process they use, because there are different philosophies that we all follow. Now, if you're not familiar with me, I am Nancy Schick of Third Year Conflict Resolution. I'm an employment attorney and mediator in New York City. And quite frankly, I've been mediating since I was in corporate America before law school, and really all the way down to childhood, because I was often the mediator in my family. It's not at all surprising that I became a mediator professionally. But let's go back to that particular issue of this evaluative mediation. If you're not familiar with mediation, you might be expecting your mediator to function like a judge or an arbitrator that's going to analyze some of the law for you. And so some former judges, for example, will do that kind of hybrid of a little bit of mediation, a little bit of arbitration, a little bit of judging, right? And that's what we tend to call evaluative mediation. You'll see a lot of that in the court mandated programs, and that is not at all the style that I use. So I wanted to make sure that I did this video to tell you there are some distinctions. Now, you're probably wondering why, as a lawyer, I'm not choosing that particular style. And quite frankly, it's because it leaves you, the parties, with less control of the outcome. It can also be somewhat adversarial. Imagine being in front of a former judge, and I'm not saying some of them are not great mediators, because there are definitely former judges that are great mediators, but it's also hard to stop judging when you've been a judge. And you can probably look at your own life and recognize how you judge a lot. I often joke and say, if you're wondering if people are judging you, they are. Ha ha. Guess what? You're judging them too. You're judging me right now. But as a mediator, we've been trained to keep putting that aside. And that's the process I'll talk about in my next video. In the meantime, if you're thinking that this might be something that you want to talk about and see if it is right for your particular workplace dispute, hit that button below, schedule a consultation with me. And of course, in the meantime, keep listening with your third ear for those hurts you can heal.